Hi everyone, I'm Ruth Crilly from A Model Recommends, and today I'm going to be taking you through a really quick and easy but very glamorous New Year makeup look. Now, lots of you have asked for a New Year makeup tutorial, and also there have been a few requests for a very easy smoky eye look that doesn't take too much blending and too much technique. And so today I wanted to show you the amazing new Max Factor XS Shimmer eyeshadows, which are really light and easy to blend but have amazing hold. So we're really looking at the eyes as a focus today. Just before we get started and go back in time and take all this makeup off, I want to talk about a really good trick for if your skin has suffered a bit over the festive season. If you just feel as though your skin is very dull and lacking in any kind of glow and just needs a total pep up, then people that are regular readers and viewers of Model Recommends will know that I'm a huge advocate of glycolic treatments, which are kind of like a chemical exfoliant. So rather than using a scrub that's quite abrasive on the skin, it just gently eats away at dead skin cells and leaves the skin looking really renewed and clear and brighter as well. So it's perfect for this time of year. Last night I used the Olay Regenerist Super Renewal Elixir, which is a night elixir. So it's kind of like an overnight treatment in a way. You don't follow it with moisturiser or anything like that. There are lots of products that claim to work miracles overnight, but I do think that things that have got glycolic in really help to make a difference to the skin, so you can see a visible difference. And this is packed full of other things like antioxidants. It's a really good one. So that's what I used last night, and now let's go back to the start and see how I did the makeup. I'm going to start off with my base. I'm going to be using the Max Factor Skin Luminizer Foundation, just to give my skin that extra little bit of glow and put back in what Christmas has taken out of it. I'm using shade 55, which is beige, and although this has fairly high coverage, it doesn't look heavy or cakey. It's got a nice kind of light reflecting glow to it. Feels nice and moisturising, not dry or cakey at all. And just because Christmas really has taken it out of me, I'm going to apply a little bit of extra concealer under the eyes. I'm using the Laura Mercier one, which is called High Coverage Concealer. I'm going to finish off my skin before I start on the eyes, just so I know how heavy I'm going to go. I'm actually going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. Now, this has a bronzer, a very kind of glamorous bronzer, and also a highlighter. I'm going to be concentrating on the bronzer really. And just taking that underneath the cheekbone. So just buffing that in. And I'm not actually going to use the highlighter part of that because, as you can probably see, there's a really nice glow coming off that skin luminizer. And I don't really feel like I need to add anything more to that. So straight in with the eyes. Now I have two of the amazing XS Shimmer eyeshadows here. They've got a really lovely creamy formula. They're so easy to use. You could use fingertips if you want. I quite like using a brush just because it makes life easier. But they're really easy to blend together, and once they're set, they don't budge. So they're perfect for something like a New Year's look, where you might be wearing it for quite a long time. First of all, I'm taking my lighter shade, and this one is in Copper. And using a brush, I'm just applying that to the inside half of the lid. And you can see how wonderfully that goes on. And then I'm going in with shade 25, which is Bronze. I've got two brushes going on here. First one to put the darker on, and the second one, which is clean, or was clean, to buff it out. I'm buffing it out upwards and towards the very end tip of my eyebrow. And I'm using two brushes just because otherwise it can all get a bit messy. And I think it's wise, if you have lots of these on hand, just to tidy things up before that shadow sets. And then taking a bit of that shadow underneath. So again, applying and blending. So all that I've done, just to recap, is the lighter shade towards the inner part and then the darker shade just here on the outer third, and then really buffed it in. I'm using the Max Factor Excess Intensity eyeliner, and this is in shade 6. It's like a really deep, intense brown. Don't know whether you can see that on the back of my hand there. And I'm just going to take that into the waterline. Like that, just to finish off the eye. And then in with mascara, just a quick curl on the lashes. I'm using the Max Factor Masterpiece Transform, which works really well on my lashes actually. It's got a really small brush, don't know whether you can see this. Very slim line, but it gives really good volume. If you only want to have to use one coat of something, I mean, it builds up very well as well. But if you just want to have to do a quick fix, then you can see that is pretty instant, pretty impressive. As I said, you can build it up for more volume if you want to, but for me the beauty of this is that you don't have to hang around. I'm going to take a little bit of the Max Factor Excess Shimmer Shadow in Copper, and I'm just going to press that into the centre of the lid. And that's always a really nice trick to do once you've finished your shadow. Just press a light shimmery colour into the centre of the lid, and it just gives it this really polished, finished off look. And then to the lips, keeping it very, very simple, because again, eyes are the main attraction. I'm using the Lipfinity, which you've seen me use before. This is in Almost Delicate. And was it almost or always? I think it's always. Always Delicate. Yes, of course it is. And you have two stages. First one's the colour, and then you wait a bit and you put the kind of locking in top coat and shine. Patting that in, it gives this really soft focus effect to the lips. Just wait 60 seconds for that to settle in, and then you apply this over the top, and it gives this lovely bit of shine. So that is my very, very quick and easy glamorous New Year look. Can't really go wrong with this. Really lovely textures, nice glowing skin. It's just understated but with a bit of glamour on the eyes, and the eyes are so easy to do, as I've demonstrated. So hope that you've enjoyed this video. Every Friday we answer a different burning beauty question, so whether it's a makeup look you want to see, or a skincare question that you have, or just any kind of grooming advice, then leave your question in the comments below and we shall get around to it as soon as we can. So I shall see you next time.